We succeeded in sealing the Aureole, but its power has not been destroyed. We will root ourselves to this land and watch over the Aureole. I pray that we will be successful in our vigil, and that these records are never seen by any eyes. However, while we are steadfast in our duty, we predict that such will not be our future. When the Aureole once again returns to reality, how will our descendants choose to respond? Believing that we will not make the same mistakes again, and the time will come when we are truly free of the Aureole, I leave these records for the future. Welcome back to The Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky SC. It's time for the finale. What's coming up is a string of boss fights, and I think we all know who they're going to be against. Our first opponent is Loewe the Bladelord at his full power. But before I talk about that, I'm going to go over my party setup. So whichever party you bring to this fight is the party that will be staying with you until the final boss. No option to swap out members after you beat Loewe. And so obviously Estelle and Joshua are forced, and I feel like Kevin is pretty much a necessity for these fights. Grail Sphere is just amazingly useful. And for my third, earlier I decided to give viewers the choice between Chloe and Olivier, because they're the two I feel are both the best party members for this fight, and also the two who have the most reason to be here, and well, you can probably all tell who they picked. And to be honest, I'm actually very glad that you guys picked Chloe, because I was actually leaning towards her. As you can see, her ATS is over 1,000 with this setup, so I'm really looking forward to seeing the massive magical damage she'll be unleashing here. And I use Olivier for most of my playthroughs, so it'll be nice to actually try out Chloe here. But first I'll go over Kevin. So Kevin has his setup mostly for speed. He has over 1,000 defense, even with some kind of outdated armor. I have speed boosting armor on everyone, and at this point, you should too. In terms of his augment setup, I've gone with a bit of a weird one, but Kevin is going to be mostly a buffer in these fights, because he can't get his ATS anywhere near as high as Chloe. So I'm going to leave the damage dealing casting to her. And so he gets the time gem, and he gets a setup where basically I fiddled around with Quartz until I could get both Gaia Shield and Zodiac on the same set. Those are the two arts that I'll be mainly using here. But if I want to save on EP, I always have these two, plus Earth Wall, and I also have access to Clock Up EX, Clock Down, Orbital Down, basically all of the buffs and debuffs I could ever want. I also have Phantom Pain, which I kind of want to try because I know that Loewe is not immune to debuffs. So this could actually kind of work, although maybe not, you'll see. And he also has a pretty good amount of attacking arts too, not that I'll really be using them that much, and he has Death Scream still. And as for Chloe, she's a little restricted in what she can do due to her water-only slots, but this is pretty much the best setup that I can find for her. She has just about all of the healing, along with Gold Gem for reducing the cost of art, Clock Up EX, Orbital Down, Clock Down, Cocytus for AoE damage, and Blue Impact and Blue Ascension for single-target nuking. And she even has Death Scream, and Abyss Fall, so she's actually got quite a lot of stuff. And Joshua and Estelle got basically their leftover quartz, but Joshua is set up here to be a mixed attacker. He's got the next highest ATS of this group after Chloe, and he has the Dark Messiah, not Kevin, because, well, the Dark Messiah's buff to ATS wouldn't really be affecting Kevin much thanks to his time gem. So Joshua also has Onyx Gem, Cast 2, along with some other stuff, which basically gives him... So, Ruby Gem is enough to give you Cyclone Napalm, which is one of the strongest single-target arts in the game, while also giving you good strength, so it's perfect for a mixed attacker like Joshua. Cyclone Napalm's really the main thing he needs, that and Death Scream. And also he has Clock Up EX and Clock Down. He has the Gladiator Belt and the Grail Locket, just so that I can spam Phantom Raid as much as possible, because trust me, we will be needing Phantom Raid in this next fight. It's gonna be our major damage dealer. So he hits hard from both sides of the spectrum. He's a bit of a glass cannon, but when isn't he? that's going to be Joshua for these fights, and now Estelle. So, I've actually set up Estelle to be more of a physical powerhouse here. So because of that, she has a bit of a weird setup of quartz. I'm not entirely sure if this is, like, the best setup, although, admittedly, I'm only using Heaven's Eye for LP purposes. If I didn't care about showing the descriptions of bosses, I would replace this with something, because other things are a lot better, but this is an LP, I kind of have to be showing their full info. But she at least has Clock RPX, which is nice, as well as Fort, and she can also buff people with Morale. The main thing that I find kind of interesting here is Strike 2, which gives it, well, I mean, you know what it does by now. If this procs on Wheel of Time, it does a ton of damage. But I'm torn between that on her or on Joshua, because that for Phantom Raid would also be really good. But I'll see how Estelle goes in this fight. In terms of equipment, you want armor that gives you as much speed, strength, and ATS as possible. Defense is actually not that high of a priority right now, and I'll tell you why soon. Really, as a certain player, I think who does Nightmare Mode walkthroughs through this game says, any armor that does not boost speed at this point is a trap. She has the Tiger Hearts to buff her strength, and also the Master Beads to protect herself against Confuse. Tiger Heart will block Seal. You can't block every status ailment in the Loewe fight without a Grail Locket, which is kind of a problem. That's why I have my second Grail Locket on Chloe, because she can cure everyone else's status with her S-Break, Lichtkreis, and I've gone with that over Sanctus Nova. Kevin is protected against Confuse, Faint, and Sleep. Basically, the ailments you need to watch out for here are Faint, Confuse, and Seal. But he can also inflict Mute. Yeah, there's a lot of ailments to worry about here. So protect yourself against whichever 3 that you feel are your highest priority. For example, I don't really care too much about Seal protection on Kevin, although it will stop Grail Sphere. Actually, maybe I do care about Seal protection on Kevin. Oh, hey, I can block both Seal and Mute, so let's go ahead and do that. Seal, Mute, Sleep, and Confuse. That's not blocking Faint, but Faint only comes from S-Crafts in this fight, and usually the S-Crafts kill you before Faint has a chance to really make an impact. So, because this next fight is going to be very intense, and I'm not going to have a lot of time to really talk about much stuff during it, I'll give a brief rundown of some of the things to watch out for in this next battle. So, Loewe, I may as well show his stats right now, because, yeah, I won't get much of a time to dwell on them during the battle. His speed is absurd, but fortunately he is not immune to Clock Down. Get that out as soon as possible, you will need it. He also summons clones, but unlike Blueblank and Luciola's clones, these are full enemies with their own health bars that can still attack you. So you need to deal with all of the clones as well as him, and if he spams those clones, things can get very hectic very quickly. He is also accompanied by 2 of the highest form of the Lion Archaism. They're mostly here to waste your Earth Guards, but they're very good at wasting your Earth Guards, so take them down as quickly as you can. They can also inflict Seal with their Plasma Ball attacks. Loewe can also Zero Storm to cancel your casting, just like he could as Lawrence. This is the attack that you want to bait him into using if possible. He can also cast Silver Thorn to confuse you. If you're protected against Confuse, his attack really isn't that big a deal, so it's another thing that you kind of want to see him using. I think he can also mute you as well, but he uses that a little rarely. The main thing to worry about are his S-Crafts. He still has Demon Flames, which is pretty much 80% of your health in one shot, and he has a new S-Craft too. Sword of Abaddon. A lot of walkthroughs refer to this as Dead Emperor Sword, but according to Xseed blogs, that translation is quote-unquote flat out wrong. I'm not exactly sure what it is in Japanese, but I guess I'll have to look that up. But anyway, it's Sword of Abaddon. Now, if he uses Sword of Abaddon and you don't have Grail Sphere or Gaia Shield up, you wipe. That's that simple. That's the main theme of this fight. Don't even consider yourselves as having HP in this battle. Think of this more like a platform game, where you all have 2 hit points each. Because that's basically what it is. Everything Loewe does 1 to 2 shots you, and there's not a lot you can do about it. Even La Crest won't really save you. So Earth Wall, Gaia Shield, and Grail Sphere are the name of the game here. We're going to have to protect ourselves from his attacks, buff ourselves as much as possible, and just keep piling on that damage, and hopefully we'll beat him before he beats us. And with that preamble all done, I'm sorry that was long, but, oh, actually it's longer. There's one thing that I forgot to mention. And this is actually a bit of a spoiler, so if you don't want spoilers, skip ahead to when I exit the status screen. Because I feel the need to bring this up. If you're still here, I assume you don't care about spoilers. Okay. While we have a chance to switch up the equipment of everyone else in the party after this fight, the same cannot be said of Joshua. For reasons, whatever Joshua has equipped now is what he goes into the final boss fight with. So make sure you are absolutely certain about Joshua's gear setup before you go through this elevator. Okay, now it's time to move. And it goes without saying, you should charge all of your CP to 200 before going into this battle. Okay, let's go. We just crossed the point of no return. When you go up this elevator, that's it. As, an all too obvious quote would say, we're in the endgame now. Here it is, the very top of the Axis pillar. Not to kill the mood or anything, but this is actually a stage in East vs. Sora, which is kind of cool. I almost wonder if by some off chance that Estelle would get into Smash Bros. I doubt it, but I can dream. This would actually be a pretty good stage, although I kind of feel like the Arsail would also be a pretty good stage, flying past all the tetracyclic towers, but anyway. Well, I mean, we took about 10 minutes to talk about you and our equipment setup, so yeah. So a supplementary manga actually shows that at this point, Ouroboros is officially getting very concerned about the gospel plan. We beat Luciola, Ren, Blue Blanc, and Volta way faster than they ever expected us to, and yeah. Right now, Campanelle is reporting to the Grandmaster, and, and it seems like things are going kinda badly. Yeah, we've fought you as Lawrence, and even then you were holding back. I love how just completely resolved Estelle is here. In a way, Loewe is kind of what Joshua would have become if he'd stayed in society, maybe. I feel like he's still running from Karen's death, even if he won't admit it to himself. did say the next time we met, he would cut Joshua down without hesitation. So, if I have one complaint about this, it's that I forgot to get Grail Sphere in before he did that. Okay, let's just, S-Break with Kevin right now. Please don't kill us. So, yeah. I mashed that too hard, but immediately S-Break with Kevin here. The chance of you surviving the first few turns is almost nothing if you don't. Okay, he didn't even go for an S-Craft that time. And like I said before, these things are mostly here to waste your Earth Guards. Especially with that. Oh boy, there are 2 Loewe's going before Kevin gets another turn. That's extremely bad. But, okay. Step 1. Clock down him now. Step 2. Orbital down everyone now. The faster you orbital down him, the faster his HP decreases when you use arts. So, yeah. Yeah, seriously, I'm so glad that he's not immune to that, because if he was, this would just be ridiculous. It's kind of a small mercy. His clones, however, are immune to debuffs. As you can see there. Oh, there's Demon Flames. Okay, Estelle might actually be dead here, but everyone else at least has a guard. Yeah, remember when I said just don't even consider yourselves as having health in this fight? Yeah, everything he does basically takes out 50 to 80% of your health, so... I might actually have to lick Trice here with Chloe, which is really sad, but, I don't really see any other option. Oh, that's not good. That's really not good. Is there anything I can get in before he, I can get Blue Impact in before he does anything? And yeah, here's a clone. They have about half as much HP as the real one, and he can make a lot of them if you get really unlucky. Oh, wow. Okay, Kevin is in a bit of a bad place right now. I need to wait for you to, It also goes without saying that I would highly recommend setting shortcuts on your keyboard or controller for S-breaks in this fight, and memorizing exactly whose S-break is assigned to which shortcut. You will need to use a lot of S-breaks in this one. That also buffs your defense, which is pretty solid. There we go. Now we have to show the full animation here. Well, I guess now is as good a time as any to mention that Loewe in Japanese is voiced by Hikaru Midorikawa, who is also the voice of Marth from Fire Emblem and Akihiko from Persona 3. It's kind of interesting, actually, because it's not the kind of character he usually plays, and he does seem to have quite a lot of range, because I mean, Marth and Akihiko are totally different characters. Is that the real one or the clone? That's the clone. Okay. Thank you, Kevin, for getting your turn now. I need, yes, Gaia Shield. Right now. It's also interesting because two of the roles that Midori Kawa plays, Akihiko and Kami Izumi from Bravely Default, are both voiced by Liam O'Brien in English. And to be honest, I think Loewe in this game is voiced by Patrick Seitz again. You don't really hear him talk that much though. But I honestly think that Liam O'Brien would actually do pretty decently as Loewe. I know that it's kind of, he gets typecast quite often as like really angsty characters, but I do feel like I can really see this guy as Liam O'Brien. There's another clone. And now there's 3 of him running around. Oh, nice miss there. I do find that his clones tend to miss you pretty often, which is, you know, thank Edios for small mercies. Okay, clock up EX people. Clock up EX Joshua, Kevin, do I Gaia Shield? Okay, how many... Okay, I think I can probably afford to Zodiac right now. I don't know how much this will delay his... Well, that's going to delay his next turn a lot more than I thought it would. That might actually be bad. I do have Earth Guard on Estelle, so maybe I could use that. Okay, 50 CP turn on you is not bad. I'm getting a little slack with my clock up EXs. I need to get those up more. Because, like, here you can see what happens if you're not really adequately speed buffed. Like, I don't really care that much that he's going for Silver Thorn right now, although I could cancel that. But, like, really, if I cancel that, he could do something even worse. So, yeah. What to do with Estelle right now? Okay, that could be a bad move. We'll see. Oh, I hate Riot Star. Riot Star is otherwise known as your Earth Wall is now gone attack. Like, that's really all these things are good for, is getting rid of your Earth... yeesh. Okay. I don't like that at all. I may have to airspray with Chloe. Because there's another one of those going, and it's probably gonna Riot Star me in the face. Yeah, this is what the Zerum powders are for. Oh, but she's so close. If I wait a little bit, she'll be able to get a 200... I'm already defense buffed. It doesn't really change the amount of HP that it heals, so I'm gonna actually do this. I'm mashing the button on my analog stick to get that S-Craft off. Yeah, like, as you can tell, I'm not really being able to explain a lot in this fight. I'm just completely in panic mode. It doesn't even do that much damage. It's mostly there just to, like I said, waste your Earth Guards. Okay, I don't even need to Gaia Shield. I can just Earth Wall. But Gaia Shield is actually really nice for safety, just in case, because sometimes you might get knocked really far around the arena and not be able to get an Earth Wall in. Okay, so everybody is now speed buffed. That is incredibly good. No, he's just using a regular attack. That's amazing. I love it when he does that. I don't love it when he does that, though. And the thingy is going. If it decides to Riot Press Kevin, that could be terrible. Or I could Death Scream. Like, I need to keep Kevin up because he's my main source of guard, so I'm just going to play it safe. That was not a lot of healing. Riot Star, that's relatively fine. But now you need to Earth Wall again. You also have to really keep an eye on your buffs, because this is one of those fights where... Yep, that's the wall gone again. This is one of those fights where you really need to keep an eye on your... Okay, Chloe is not actually speed buff. That's terrible. Let's fix that right now. Like, your buffs can very easily wear off if you take a while in this fight. You know what? I have so many of these. Tomato Sandwich, Joshua. I want to have 200 CP for that crit turn S-Craft. Like, you want to take every crit turn that you have here. Speaking of which... Well, I can get everything in that? That's pretty nice. Like, I'm not really paying much attention, like, just, okay, one of his clones is almost dead, and even the real Loewe is actually getting kind of low on health. This is very much like a glass cannon fight. At this point in the game, you'll be doing a ton of damage to him, but he does a ton of damage to you at the same time. Don't... Okay. Oh, he's just Earthguarding. I don't think he even has Earthguard yet. Yeah, it's just regular Earthguard. So, yeah. Like, okay, that could have been terrible, because if he had decided to sort of abandon me there, I would have been gone. I don't... Like, the good news is, okay, it's not him going next, it's just his clone. Unfortunately, the clones aren't actually, like, labeled in their name tags, but yeah. If he had decided to sort of abandon me, I would have just instantly died, so... Oh, boy. Okay, let's get that back up. Chloe has not, like, had a chance to use any of her arts offensively here. Don't Riot Star, please. Oh, it's... Huh. Using an art, okay. Right then. I want to take that crit turn with Joshua. So I'm going to use another tomato sandwich. In case you couldn't tell, tomato sandwiches are amazing. I think this will actually destroy one of his clones. Yeah, the real one was guarding that, but yeah, that's one dead clone, so one less thing. Oh, yeah, they can heal. 3,000 health is quite a lot to heal for this guy, too. He is still Orbital downed, and that means... we're all speed buffed. Okay, like, there's a chance Kevin could actually... Oh, no, Kevin still has a guard, so I'm fine. Yeah, like I said earlier, like, don't even consider yourself as even having health in this fight. It's like Crash Bandicoot. You have, like, Aku masks. You take 2 hits and then you die. Like, you've got 1 mask, you take a hit, you lose that, and then you take another hit and then you die. That's basically how this fight works. Oh, hey, one of the Riot Stars is down. Yeah, like, you can see how little attention I pay to the health of the enemies here. This fight is pretty much just constant panic mode. Okay, yeah, that Riot Saber is almost gone. I want to get this preemptively in. Is that the real? No, it's a clone. That's fine. Yeah, the real one's what I'm worried about because he's the only one who can S-craft. I'm pretty sure the clones can't S-craft, but don't quote me on that. Okay, and then I'm gonna hard break you in the face. Okay, the others are actually getting kind of low on health here. Like, I didn't even check how much damage Cocytus was doing. Okay, next turn, real or fake? Real. And he's still speed debuffed. But we are all guarded. Pretty sure we're all Earth guarded. I think, yeah, we were all Earth guarded. So let's go for Cocytus, and he's probably going to do something. No, he's just straight up attacking, okay. Admittedly, like, a lot of this fight comes down to what his AI decides to do. If he gets really, really S-craft happy, like, there's actually a decent chance that he'll never use Sword of Abaddon at all. Which I have a funny story about that. Okay, things are getting a little bit... I can't get complacent here. I wanted to go on a tangent about the Loewe Monogatari, or the Tale of Loewe, which is, like, basically a, Kevin should be spending his time buffing, or debuffing. Yeah, just in case this wears off soon, I'm going to go for Clock Down again. Which is a manga, like, companion to this game that got released. But I just, if I lose focus for even 1 second, this guy could very easily kill me. And I'm doing really, really well. I don't want to mess this up now. I could also talk about, like, his symbolism with his Arcana. And you know what? Honestly, actually, there's a time that I could more easily talk about that. So, you know what? Oh, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to Tomato Sandwich. Tomato Sandwich better than Zerum Powder. You heard it here first. Let's grab that. That should kill the last clone. And he's getting very low. And now we can pretty much just smack him repeatedly. And then I'll just Earth Guard myself in case, something bad happens. A little Ascension. Let's see how much this does. He's actually getting really low. It's not over, though. He could very easily do that. And that is why I Earthwalled. Because I'm pretty sure that would have wiped us if we weren't earth-walled. But, like, you'll see, like, when it's down to just him and you're all speed buffed and he's speed debuffed, that's when this fight, you can kind of breathe a little bit easier. Yeah, his defense is absurd, by the way. With Estelle's incredibly high physical attack, she's still doing, like, only 600 with a basic attack to him. That's actually pretty high damage for a non-aircraft physical attack, so... yeah. Like, I'm just gonna Soul Blur, because why not? He does take a lot more damage from arts. Like, I don't even think I really need to do this, but... if I get this on him, is Joshua gonna be able to finish him with, because Comfort's not a bad strategy against this guy either. Of course, your strategy against this guy will vary a lot based on what party you have. Did that do it? No! Oh boy, okay, he probably wouldn't have S-crafted me because, yeah, that, like, he used up his CP, but... I am tempted to use, like, a Zerum Powder and Phantom Raid, but... no, let's finish him, like, with our strategy for the Lawrence fight, cancelling his arts. Yeah, debuffing his defense with Comfort really helps. I probably should have used that earlier. Like I said, this is my first time bringing Chloe to this fight. So, funny story about this fight. On my first playthrough, I won that fight on my first try. I have a post on my Tumblr about that. If you want to just search my Tumblr for Trails in the Sky, you'll probably find it. I can't believe that actually happened, but it did. I'd heard all this hype about it being the hardest fight in the game, and yeah, I beat him first try on my first playthrough. But as you can see here, my first attempt of this one ended disastrously, but my second attempt went a lot smoother, so... yeah, you want to get Grail Sphere up at the very start, or you're in a lot of trouble. He never even used Sword of Abaddon in this fight. I want to get bonus footage of him using that, because it actually looks pretty cool.
Your soul shall burn in the flame. Crap! This isn't good! No.
I'm sorry.
But anyway, that is that fight over. And for winning, you get Zerum Capsule and another Gladiator belt. As I said in the last part, winning this fight is technically optional, because if you lose, you do get the option to continue without, you do get the option to skip the fight and continue the story anyway, but I'm not going to take that option. And yeah, canonically, you do win this battle. Unlike the Lawrence fight back in FC. The unfortunate thing is Chloe's dialogue in this fight is not great. Olivier has a lot more interesting dialogue here.
確かに今の戦闘で俺の機動力はいくらか落ちている。その一点においてのみ勝機があるかもしれないが、それでも勝率は限りなく低いぞ。
分かってる。姉さんが救い、教授が繕い、父さんが解き放ち、 そして今エステルと共にあるこの魂、遊撃士としての心得と漆黒の牙としての技、その全てをもって検定に挑ませてもらう。
いいだろう。来い、漆黒の牙。やるな。ならばこちらも全開で行かせてもらうぞ。どうしたヨシュア。唯一勝るスピードを生かさずにどうやって勝機をつかむつもりだ。ね
えレイベン、一つだけ答えてほしいんだ。どうして教授に協力してこんなことをしているのか。前にカリン姉さんの復讐が目的じゃないって言ったよね。この世に問いかけるため。それは一体どういう意味なの？
大したことじゃない。人という存在の可能性を試してみたくなっただけだ。
人の可能性？
時代の流れ、国家の論理、価値観と倫理観の変化、とにかく人という存在は大きなものに翻弄されがちだ。そして時にその狭間に落ちて身動き取れぬまま消えていく。俺たちのハーメル村のようにこの都市にしても同じことだ。かつて人はこうした天井として満ち足りた日々を送っていたという。だが大崩壊と時を同じくして人は楽園を捨て地上へと落ち延びた。そして都市は封印され、人々はその存在を忘れてしまった。まるで都合が悪いものを忘れ去ろうとするかのようにな。真実というものはたやすく隠蔽され、人は信じたい現実のみを受け入れる。それが人の弱さであり限界だ。だが輝く輪はその圧倒的な力と存在感を持って人に真実を突きつけるだろう。国家という後ろ盾を失った時、自分たちがいかに無力であるか、自分たちの便利な生活がどれだけ脆弱なものであったか、そう、自己欺瞞によって見えなくされていた全てをな。
それをみんなに思い知らせるのがレーベの目的ってこと？
そうだ。欺瞞を抱える限り人は同じことを繰り返すだろう。第2第3のハーベルの悲劇がこれからも起こり続けるだろう。何人ものカリンが死ぬだろう。俺はそれを防ぐために見食らう蛇に身を投じた。そのためには修羅と化しても悔いはない。
それこそ欺瞞じゃないか。
何？
僕も弱い人間だからレーベの言葉は胸に痛いよ。でも人は大きなものの前で無力であるだけの存在じゃない。10年前のあの日、僕を救ってくれた姉さんのように、そのことにレーベが気づいていないはずがないんだ。 あんなにも姉さんを大切に思っていたレーベが、だったらやっぱりそれは欺瞞だと思う。
カリンは特別だ。あんな人間がそう簡単にいてたまるものか。だからこそ人は試されなくてはならない。弱さと欺瞞という罪をあがなうことができるのかを、カリンの犠牲に値するのかを。
だったらそれは僕が証明してみせる。姉さんを犠牲にして生き延びた弱くて嘘つきなこの僕がエステルたちと出会うことで自分の進むべき道を見つけられた。レーベのいるここまでたどり着くことができた。人は人の間にある限りただ無力なだけの存在じゃない。
I mean, I want to interject here, but I just don't really have anything to say. That whole thing just spoke for itself. I read on TV Tropes once that a lot of people generally consider that fight that's just played out entirely with sprites to be better than Cloud versus Sephiroth in Advent Children. Now, I've never actually seen that, but yeah, this was pretty insane in terms of the animation. That's why Cassia switched from using a sword to a staff. I also like how finally forcing Loewe to, like, face his own, like, delusions and kind of forcing that emotional outburst out of him was what did him in. Just completely breaking his stoic facade and just really finding the one thing that gets to him. And that is that he genuinely felt that Karen was the one exception among humanity, but Joshua proved that wasn't true. Anyone can overcome their weakness and become strong. I mean, Joshua overcame being brainwashed into being a child assassin by Weissman. Estelle set Ren on the path to overcoming her own trauma. Like, even Duke Jinan, as weird as it seems to bring him up, can change. And yeah, forcing Loewe to realize that people have the potential to change was what did it. Finally, he's given up on this particular path. Joshua has, well, basically his older brother back. I don't think I've got that before. Estelle takes that as she takes pretty much everything. So, at this point, Loewe has a personal address for every party member that you can bring to this fight. So, it's kind of nice to keep a save file here and try beating him with different people just to see how he reacts. Everyone gets their own unique conversation. Like, in a way, that's what the Oriole did. Like, the Oriole really turned everything into one big machine, with every person basically just becoming part of it. Now, this conversation is very interesting. Estelle, it's called Sequel Hooks for Sky the Third. That's all I can really say for now. Yeah, of course, we have to go into the core of this place. Yeah, that would be pretty terrifying, and well, I think Weissman's already down there, so we'd better get going quickly. It is kind of interesting to think, though, exactly how Loewe would have wanted to use this thing. I'll talk about that a little bit later. Yeah, we already know that by looking at the data crystals. She actually had to go out of her way to trick it, and even then it caught on. Oh no, I know who that is! I mean, honestly, yeah, you should be scared, Weissman. Your top literal enforcer has just turned on you. And so, obviously, we wouldn't get him as a party member. That would be way too easy, so, yep. He's gonna be out of action. Oh, don't worry. The moment we finally get to beat this guy up is very quickly approaching. Actually, very true. You might notice Joshua's eyes just went back there. Notice what's flashing there? That Ouroboros insignia on his arm wasn't just a tattoo. It's actually deeply tied to Weissman's original programming. So, you know all those mental techniques that Kevin knew as a member of the church? Well, guess what? Remember how Weissman's a former member of the church? Yeah, he can weaponize those against us. Yeah, we know that. Basically, that was a failsafe that he put in there as part of his brainwashing. In case he ever broke free of it, he had an easy way to get back in again. So this is kind of, a new plot point to be introducing this late, but this is another thing that will be clarified more in the third. It's actually a church thing, so the fact that Weissman can do this is part of his being a former church member. Knowledge of artifacts and being able to affect people's minds like that. Oh yeah, that's just a... yeah, screw that. Like, that's not even an excuse. Come on. Really, seriously, screw you. You know, the old trick of, oh yeah, you know, really this is actually your fault, not mine. Because I wouldn't have had to do this if you weren't trying to stop me. Yeah, you know, Weissman might have just painted an even bigger target on his head than he had before. And of course, we're not going to just fight right here. We're going to have to go to the core first. And so Joshua's left us. It's just down to us three now. Oh, never say that. If you say that, something even worse is about to happen. You know, I feel like somebody should just go over there and pick up his sword, just saying. It's kind of dangerous to leave that thing lying around where anyone could just pick it up and use it. So you know that, things are about to get even worse thing I was mentioning? Yeah, they mass-produced those things, clearly. And they have a few new tricks compared to the one we fought in the sealed area. I'm kind of wondering what happens if you bring these two to this fight. Who's the one who leads the charge here? I actually feel like it might be Chloe. Yeah, I'm not really sure how much use you are in a fight.